Please remain standing as we read the Word of God this morning. We'll be reading from the book of Hosea, chapter 12. I'm reading from the ESV. It says, Ephraim feeds on the wind and pursues the east wind all day long. They multiply falsehood and violence. They make a covenant with Assyria, and oil is carried to Egypt. The Lord has an indictment against Judah, and he will punish Jacob according to his ways. He will repay him according to his deeds. In the womb he took his brother by the heel, and in his manhood he strove with God. He strove with the angel and prevailed. He wept and sought his favor. He met God at Bethel. And there God spoke with us. The Lord, the God of hosts, the Lord is in his memorial name. So you, by the help of your God, return. So you, by the help of God, return. Hold fast the love and justice, and wait continually for your God. A merchant in whose hands are false balances, he loves to oppress. Ephraim has said, Aha, but I am rich. I have found wealth to myself in all my labors. They cannot find me iniquity or sin. I am the Lord your God. From the land of Egypt, I'm the Lord your God. From the land of Egypt, I will again make you dwell in tents, as in the days of the appointed feast. I spoke to the prophets. It was I who multiplied visions, and through the prophets gave parables. If there's iniquity in Gilead, they shall surely come to nothing. In Gilgal they sacrifice bulls. Their altars also are like stone heaps on the four walls of the fields. Jacob fled to the land of Ammon. There Israel saved for a wife, and for a wife he guarded sheep. By a prophet the Lord brought Israel up from Egypt, and by a prophet he was guarded. Ephraim has given bitter provocation. So his Lord will leave his blood guilt on him, and he will repay him for his disgraceful deeds. You may be seated. Come on. Good morning, everyone. If we haven't got a chance to meet, my name is Tresor Mpenzi. I am part of this community for quite some time now. And I'm married, I'm a father, I'm a missionary, and I just enjoy being part of this community. I just want, before we begin to go through this series, I wanted to thank my Gigi, Airwing Gigi. They have been very helpful and supportive through the journey of preparing for this message. There's a lot of their inputs in the message we're going to share today. And want to extend this invitation to everyone who is not part of a Gigi. You are missing out. They are amazing families. That's where flat church happens, not when we come here Sunday. So if you're not part of the GG, please do so. Do yourself a favor and join one. I'm sure there's one in your neighborhood. If you don't know, ask the connection desk. They'll help you to get connected. And I just want to appreciate something about this community that has really touched my life. When I'm looking around this congregation this morning, I see people that I have called on the last minute when I need help, and they went out of their ways to help me. I'm not going to mention names, but you know yourselves. I see people that I have met on weekdays have countless conversations about life. I've talked to, I see men that I've met, and we talked about what it is to be a man, to be a Christian, to be a married man, to have all those conversations. So I want to thank you for that. I see people that I met the very first time I came in contact with Flood Church. It was in Blantyre. It was a SWOT conference. And you guys have been a role model to me. As a young man stepping into college, there is this idea that, college is for you to enjoy and put God on hold, do life, and then when you're done, pick God up and continue. But you showed me that it's actually possible to enjoy life and still maintain a Christian life. So thank you for you guys. I appreciate that a lot. And there's people here that have helped me in different businesses and projects that I'm involved in, but just calling. There's some people in this community, I needed something done, and they offer a service. That's their business. So they're willing to do the job, and I told them I'll pay, but my payment process will take a little while. It's not going to be right now. It may take a week or two. And they were like, we'll do that because we know you and we trust you. And they did the job, and they got paid like 2 weeks later. So I want to thank you for that. I'm saying all this to highlight the importance of this community. If you are not plugged in this community, you are missing out. You don't have to do life by yourself. You don't have to be alone. We're never called to do this by ourselves. So if this is your first time or you're still wondering if this is the community for you, I want to challenge you to say that this is it. You're in the right place. Anyway, back to Hosea. We are in Hosea chapter 12 this morning. We have been going through this series called Chasing Rebels. And throughout the sermon series, we have learned that you and me are the rebels. It's not some people who out there who have no knowledge, who are so ignorant to not know what God wants for them, but it's you and me on a daily basis when we choose to move God from his throne and put something else in that space. So God in this series has countless times show his ways. He's pleading with us to come back, and have shown so many ways that he wants us to be back to him. In chapter 12, where we are today, we open this passage with a verse that... So the prophet in this space is reminding Israel of where they are. And the very beginning is telling them the state of their life. They are chasing after wind. That's where we open the verses today. And maybe just a little bit of a recap to see why is it and how did we get here. These are the people that God chose. God came to Abraham for the first time. He made his contact with Abraham. He introduced himself, and he told him the plans he had for him and what he's going to do through him. Abraham accepted the call. He started journeying with God. Fast forward, from this one man, a nation was born, a nation was formed, the nation of the children of Israel. Fast forward, they find themselves in Egypt, where now they are slaves for a couple centuries. And in Egypt, among other things that happened, they lost their identity. They forgot who they are. They are now slaves. That's their new identity. They are just slaves. That's who they are. And God, in his mercy, he, by using the prophet Moses, called them out of Egypt, bring them back to himself, and fulfill the promise he gave to Abraham that I'll give you a nation. I'll make you a nation among nations, and you are my beloved. And through you, I'll bless the whole world. Now, he pulls them out of Egypt through the wilderness, and in there, he started speaking to them. He started reminding them of who they are. That you are not just slaves. You are my beloved. You are my nation. I chose you. I love you. And I have so many good plans for you and your future. And through this process, he reminded them a very important message that he repeats over and over in all these covenants he's doing with them. It's about worship. He reminds them that he is the only God that is worthy of their worship. They should not worship anything else but himself. He stresses this a lot. This keeps coming over and over and over. You should not worship anything else but me. You should not make yourself idols. You should not partner with pagan gods. And in so many ways, he tried to prepare them and protect them from falling into these temptations of having other gods that they worship. He wanted them to himself. Now, we may ask ourselves a question: why God is so obsessed with the worship? Is he some insecure God? He's afraid maybe if they try another God, they will leave him. Is he some? We just came from the campaign and the elections. Is he trying to, pitch his perfect, what do we call them? Manifesto. There you go. Is he trying to pitch his best manifesto so they can vote for him and know the other God? What's the big deal? Why is he so obsessed with this worship? Is he some power hungry, just wants to get all the worship by himself? I wrestled with this question a little bit as I was preparing for this sermon, but I think it's out of love that God is doing this. Because we are humans, them and us today, we are created to worship. You don't teach people that they need to worship. You don't. Like when he spoke to Abraham, Abraham had gods he's worshiping to. He didn't get to Abraham like, hey, there's this thing called worship. There's this thing called God. So we're going to start this new thing about God and people and worship. He knew about worship. Those of us who are in ministries, who do outreaches in places, you can go to the most remote area. You find people worshiping. It's proven over in history. It's a fact. Human beings are made to worship. We worship. That's what we do. We don't need to be told that we need to worship, but we do. Now, God knows that anything else that we worship, if it's not him, it will leave us with this void, wanting for more, leave us unsatisfied, uncontained. Because him and him alone has the power and the ability to satisfy our need for worship and other needs we have in life. So for the nations that he loves, for the plan that he has for humanity, he's stressing this idea from the beginning that you need to worship me because I'll be good for you. If you don't, it's not gonna end well for you. You're choosing distractions and you're choosing death. But for your goodness, for your well-being, I am the only object of worship. So then, where we start this passage this morning, in verses 1, we're seeing this idea of chasing after wind. That, if you remember well, in the beginning of this series, the first chapters of the book of Hosea, God is stressing this point of idolatry. God is not mad at them because they did some sin. They just didn't do like one event and then God is so mad. You missed the point. You went off, of the directions I gave you. But they chose over and over a lifestyle of idolatry. They progressively replaced God, Yahweh, with other gods. They chose to worship God and other gods. And over made this lifestyle of worshiping at idols. They didn't leave God completely. They kept him there. We know you, we have seen you, but we want these other things. And it has left them with this void in their hearts. Now they are chasing after wind. They are chasing after things to satisfy the void that only God can fill. Now, they have the solution in their hand, but they rejected it. They chose their own ways. And now they're after solutions, after solutions, after solutions. And none of these solutions are actually helping them. And they keep, because they're not helping and there's a problem, and you keep trying more and more and more and more and more, and it goes and it goes and it goes. And that's where we are today. Now, bring this home to us. It feels like, it's distant, it's over there, it's them people, it's not us. We have the Bible, we don't have altars for other gods, we only have one church, we don't have church for Jesus and church for the other God. So it's not, this whole idolatry thing, it's not about us, it's about them. And to some extent, I even feel like, I don't know what's wrong with their mind. These people are like experiencing God firsthand. Why they can't make up their mind and stick to God? Why, what they want? And to some extent, it feels like unless, I don't know about you, but it feels like we are better than them because we have figured this out. We only worship God, right? We don't have other gods. So the problem is on them. But I think might be wrong on that point. We may not be building temples for different gods that we have in our lives. We may not be having something in our little, storage in our house that you want to worship. You put, today I'm going to worship God, this one, We may not have those, but trust me, we do. Because what God is saying here is, if you put anything else above me, that's your idol. If anything else comes first before me, you have chose to worship whatever that is. Let's put this a little bit more maybe simple. Let's say this. If I can only have dash, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be satisfied. Whatever you put in dash, that's your idol today. Whatever that you think, when you have that, your life will be complete and you need no more. If that is no God, there is your idol. Because trust me, you have that. And some of us can testify. We had those. We had those dash and we achieved them. Once we did, you're like, oh shoot, I need more. I will replace the dash to something else. Some of us have those testimonies. We have done that. We got it and realized it's not enough. If only the next promotion, the next relationship, the next, I don't know, you name it, the next job, the next connections, the next government. You name it. And actually, the Bible has an example of someone who did that. Someone who had everything you can imagine, done every experience you can imagine. His name is King Solomon. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, I believe it's verses 14, he says, I deny my heart of nothing. Everything that my eyes saw, I got. Everything that I wanted, I got for myself. And at the end of the day, you know what he said? He called it a chase after wind, where we start the verses today. So God is so stressing on this point because he knows this idea of idolatry will leave us empty and wanting for more. And because now we have rejected God, because they have rejected God and started worshiping other gods, creating their own solutions, in the process of creating solutions and fighting other gods, we find in verses 1 and 2 that now there's multiplications of wrongdoings. There is lying that going on. There is cheating that going on. There is, we don't take care of the widows and orphans and the oppressed and the needy in our communities anymore. There is no justice anymore in our community because I have need to feel. So I don't care about you. I just want to get there. Whatever it takes, I'll get there. And over, I make that personal decision myself. And if 2, 3, 10, hundreds, thousands of other people are doing the same, we are creating a corrupted society where morals decays every single day because I care about myself. I don't know about you. If I go to the road traffic to get something done and the line is 3 hours, I'll pay my way in. I don't care if you were there for 2 days. I don't care. I have a meeting to go to. Therefore, I'll pay my way in and you wait another day. I don't care. I have business to take care of. Let's go back to the Bible. But this is where we are. This is where these people are. And this is where we are today as a community when we choose to put anything else above God. We took our eyes from God, and now our eyes are on the goals that we want to achieve. We want to be successful. We want to look like them. We want to have what they have. We want to, we want to be like them. And when we get there, we realize, shoot, I don't think it was worth it. Now let's find something else. Let's go to the next goal. And on and on and on, and then we go. Now, then we are in this passage we're reading, in the very beginning of the passage, in the very opening of the passage, we also see, so Israel has rejected God. They are creating their own solutions, but it's not working. And one of the things they realize is they have no protections anymore. It's like back in the book of Genesis when Adam and Eve sinned. All of a sudden, their eyes open and realize, oh, shoot, we are naked. We have to do something about it. You see, to me anyway, it seems like they were naked all the way. They just didn't have no reason to care about that. And all of a sudden, now they have things in their own hand. Now they're like, shoot, we have to fix this. And they couldn't fix it anyway, So the people here realize, oh, we need protection. We don't have God. Now they start doing these alliances with big nations around them, something that Pastor Humphreys mentioned last week. They have these big empires surrounding them, Egypt and Assyria. And they were like, if we go to war today, who can protect us? Now let's make alliances with Egypt, and let's make alliances with Assyria. Because if someone else attacks us, these two people will protect us. These two big giant armies will protect us. But in the beginning, they had God, who is above all these nations, who is above God, who can use one man to defeat a whole army, one man to defeat a whole army. But all of a sudden, because they rejected him, now they need Egypt and Assyria to protect them. And this is happening with us too. When we choose to focus our eyes on something else other than God, then our hope, our redemptions start to be expected to come from relationships we make, friendships we make, our careers, the connections we make. These, all of a sudden, we start building, we need for tomorrow. For what is happening. When tomorrow I'm in a need, who am I go to? It's no longer God. It's who I have in my corner. It's the people I have in my corner. It's the possessions I have in my corner. It's my look. It's my status. It's, I don't know, whatever that is. And we put so much energy to create these protection, these barriers around us, while God was there offering that for free in the beginning. But because we rejected him, now we have to create our own God. I mentioned in the beginning that I'm a missionary, and this is a temptation to me and probably everyone else in the ministry. When we face with need in the work that I do, often my response is, oh yeah, let's create a fundraising campaign so we can get money to fix this. That's where I go. But it's not, let's kneel down and pray so God can provide this. Like, who is the next person we can send a message to? We need this much money to get this fixed. I don't know what it is in your personal life, but we have these things going on that our help, our need is no longer from God, but from whatever we put our hope in. And in verses 8, they say, oh, we are rich. We got everything. So therefore, no sin in me, no iniquity in me, because we're rich. We made it. We have everything. This, we have got to a point actually to name it nowadays. We call this prosperity gospel, where we sell Jesus as, if you receive Jesus, then you'll be rich, you'll be healthy, you'll have houses and cars and everything, and all these things. and pretty much with lying to people, that go ahead and chase after all these things. And once you have them, that's your proof that you have Jesus. Amen. And then we're creating these people who are like stressed, depressed. People who are like empty because they're chasing after the God of these days. They're chasing after the comfort, which I read somewhere that comfort is the most worshipped God of our days, nowadays. We want the comfort. We want all these things. So when we have them, then we're blessed. Then we have God. And for those who are not fortunate enough in our society, in our circles, who don't have what we have, they are the sinners. We should look into your life. Why are you not healed? You have prayed for so many times. Why are you not healed? It's about you. It's your lack of faith. It's you. Because that's what these guys are. I have money, so that means I'm okay with God. But all day long we know they are not. They are not. That's why Prophet Hosea is talking to them today. They are not okay with God. God is not happy with them because they have rejected the very basic of this relationship, the foundation of this relationship. And as then we created us and them. We who come to church, we got it figured out. Those people who don't come to church, not so good for them. We got it. They don't. They need Jesus. This actually came when we were discussing some of the studies in our GG. This idea of like, they need Jesus. Not me. I have Jesus. I have it all figured out. But those people, the policemen, the politicians, those people need Jesus, but not me, right? And one of the things actually we accuse police people is bribe, it's corruption. But where they get the bribe from if I don't give it to them? They don't bribe themselves. We give to them. So how are they wrong, but I'm not? It kind of makes no sense to me. But this idea of, because we created systems around us, we have relationships, we have protections, we have created systems around us. We don't need God anymore. It's us. At least these people, they didn't. I don't know about you, but these people didn't. And all of a sudden, they can now judge their innocence based on their possessions or their status, of what they have, of their standing. And those who are less fortunate, they are the one who need Jesus. God have mercy on us. Now, we have seen through this series, that's this pattern of God coming after the children of Israel. He's pointing out all the things they did. He's putting out his rage, how he's done with them, how the punishment that they deserve, the punishment that's coming after them. And sometimes if you read these things out of context, you can see God as angry God. God who is after you to punish you, to hurt you, to make you suffer, who has no business to do with you. All he wants to hurt you. But that's not true, because in this passage, I'm going to read verses 6. It says, in the passage we read today, verse 6 says, "So you, by the help of your God, hold fast to love and justice, and wait continually for your God." Amen. This is the call God is giving to these people. The whole idea of, God sending prophets, Hosea today, it's not just to tell them that they're messed up, I'm mad at you, and I'm done with you. It's actually to renegotiate the deal that they had in the beginning. Remember, I had a covenant with you? I want to go back to that. It's for your good. The ways, as we go towards the end, and as I conclude this message today, I want to look into this verse 6 and see what is God offering to these people today. What is the response in all of this? He is calling them to return to God. He's calling them to return to himself, to him. In the beginning, we were talking about how they, started worshiping other gods. And because that did not satisfy them, they went on creating more solutions and more solutions that keep them empty, leave them empty and empty and empty. Something that Pastor Humphreys mentioned earlier on in this series, where he said, our brokenness lead us to seek broken solutions. We always find solutions that are broken. They cannot fix anything. But the reality is, our fix today is not just looking into the symptoms and fix those, but it's to go to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem, as we saw in this series, is that they chose to worship other gods other than God, the creator of heaven and earth. They pushed God from his throne and put other things on the throne that God only can sit on. And therefore, they are here today. That has opened the door for so many other things to happen. Now, if they were to fix this problem, it's not just, cleaning the mess out here, but it was to go to the root cause of the very problem. Go back to God. Leave everything else behind. Come to God. Come back to the heart of worship. That's where the solution is. And let everything else flow from there. Put God first. Remove everything else and let everything else fall from there. It's not that it's bad to be ambitious, to want a good career, good relationship, want a good car, a good house. There's nothing bad about this. The problem is when these things take the place of God, now we're creating a problem. Let's bring God first and let all these things follow from there. And he says, maintain love and justice. Come to worship. And as we worship, let's listen and follow to what God is calling us to. Justice and mercy. Love him. Love God above everything. Love your neighbors the way you love yourself. Let's come back to the heart of worship. Let's come back to the heart of loving God above everything else and love our neighbors the way we love ourselves. Because if we love our neighbors the way we love ourselves, we'll stop being unjust to them. We'll stop hurting them just to satisfy my need, what I want. Because in this case, it's not me above them, but we are on this together. We are all children of God. We are on this together. We can walk this journey together. And he say, wait on your God. Let's come back and worship him. Let's come back to the very beginning of everything. Let's love him, love mercy, and wait on him. Wait on the Lord. Wait on him to fulfill all the things that he has promised that he will fulfill in your life and in my life. Let's not rush in creating our own solutions, which will add more problems to the very problems we have. Let's wait on him. Let's sit and wait on him. Put him in charge where he belongs and let him take care of your need and my need. As the worship band comes back up, I'm just going to leave us with a prayer. May we be so courageous enough to look in our lives and identify things that we put in the place of God. May we be so courageous enough to challenge ourselves, look through our lives, and identify whatever they are put in that dash. If only I can have dash, and I'll be happy and I'll be satisfied. Whatever that is. And once we identify that, may we be humble enough to confess the sin in our lives. And may we be wise enough to find the only solution, which is coming back to God and put